And we're live. So welcome back to Virtual Collage Jam for, what day is it? Monday, October the 18th. I just typed it in like 3 minutes ago. Oh, a bear of little brain. Anyway, welcome back, everyone. Hope you're ready to do some collaging. And I hope the visual prompt found you. I'm sorry I didn't send it out on the Thursday as I normally plan to have scheduled in my calendar and everything, but it was a crazy week. So I sent it out last night. So hopefully you got it. It is this image, I think, from a catalog from the 1870s of different flower varietals. And I thought it'd be fun to work from an image prompt, which we haven't done for a little while. So that's posted in the Facebook group if you haven't got it, and on your email if you haven't checked your email since yesterday. So
do you want to talk, just for those who may be new to this event, to say what Virtual Collage
what
Jam
we're about
is?
Here?
Yes.
So that helpful prompt coming from the sidelines is from my trusty assistant,
Kim Liko,
who reads your chat, comments back, and relays your chat to me as we collage. So she's quite right. We should recap what Virtual Collage Jam is. So started in March, very, very late March of 2020 as a response to the pandemic, as a way to connect with artists who were suddenly at home and during lockdown. And now that we are hopefully continuing to progress out of the pandemic, is still a great way to connect collage artists and have a little bit of fun chatting, talk about art, do a little collaging, have a snack, have a little your favorite drink, and just basically hang out. Yeah. It is supported by a Facebook group. Yeah. So if you go to the Virtual Collage Jam page on my website, calhoney.ca, you will find links to the Facebook group where you can request to join. It's a private group, but anyone with an interest in collage can join. And then you can post there, see what other people are posting. Our regulars do a collage along with every jam and post their collages there. Thank you, everyone, for those of you who do that.
And I just, for those of you who are watching the live stream on Instagram, this is just a sneak peek. The real live stream is on Kal Honey's YouTube channel. That's Kal Honey, as in the sweet stuff. So in order not to risk crashing our internet connection, I'm going to stop the live feed on Instagram, and you can find his live stream on the main page of his channel on YouTube. Once again, that's Kal, new word, Honey. Hope to see you there.
Hope to see you there,
Thanks
guys.
For joining us here.
Our tech wizard, Kim, is wizard gender neutral?
I'm cool with the word wizard.
Okay, cool.
I don't really
wasn't
care.
sure whether there was a wizardess or whatever. I call her our tech goddess, but she's also a tech goddess wizard. So anyway, she was just doing a little plug on Instagram. So thank you, Kim. So I am going to shortly, I'll switch to the overhead camera so that you can watch me as I work along. And I see there are a few comments which Kim will pass along to me shortly, which I'm looking forward to hearing from. And let me know where you're joining us from, if anywhere exotic other than the greater Toronto area, which is where we broadcast from. Really, Brampton, which is in the GTA. So if you're further afield, do let us know. And what are you, and also let us know in the comments what you're going to be collaging about. Are you using the prompt? Are you thinking, roses aren't my thing, so I'm going to do this instead? Or if you are using the rose, what are your thoughts? Are you thinking maybe you'll combine it with other imagery, cut it up into indistinguishable pieces and make something else out of it? Let us know. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know yet, because I just quickly printed it out, and I brought some other elements. I've got some patterned papers because I love these. You can buy them at Michael's and art stores. These they have all kinds of different different brands and styles of scrapbooking papers. So I love using those. And I've also got a stack of magazines and a trusty Popular Mechanics Do-It-Yourself Encyclopedia, which has some great old vintage color and black and white illustrations. And it's getting a little chopped up now, but I sometimes rifle through that. So I'm going to see what of those things strikes my fancy to work with this rose. So I can see I didn't set up the arm for our overhead, but that won't take long.
That's all right. You're allowed to set it up while things are going on.
And while Kim can pass along the upside down. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so we've got Jane Laster Gordon who said, "Hi, folks."
Hello, Jane. Yeah, poor Jane. She was asking me, I was like, did I miss the prompt? No, Kal missed the prompt. So
a lot's been going on here.
Yeah. All right. Beware, I'm going to do a little seasick making thing as we move the camera to its overhead position.
Rebecca's back and says hi. And Val says hi.
It's great to have the regulars back, guys.
Hardcore.
Welcome back. Yeah.
Hardcore.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Françoise is back.
Yay. Hey, Françoise.
She says she's just back from 4 weeks in France, and she's happy to get back to collaging with you.
Some sort of thing going on. There we go. All right. Let's get that tuned a little bit.
Well, we're honored that you've joined us, Françoise, soon after your return. I hope you had a great trip. I hope the weather was good to you and that your family is well. Gerda's here.
Yay.
Gerda describing herself as an irregular. She's one of our regular irregulars. Or our irregular regulars.
What do they call them in like accidentals? Not quite, but species that are not
that appear
yeah.
Here and there.
Here and there, exactly. Let's move my laptop back a little bit.
So Rebecca, in answer to your question, says, I'm technically using collage, but not the rose. I'm working on my synthetic cubism piece for Kal's class.
Is that due soon, Rebecca?
Yeah. That's good.
Kim, can you just confirm because that left is left on what you're seeing?
Hang on, there's a delay. So yep. I'm seeing you move your laptop back right now.
Oh, okay, yes. So. Is this looking like
still
left?
Not okay. Still not up.
Okay. Well, you can just tell me if things look right reading. I'll put this in the view, and if it's always
your knife is to the left.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Yeah.
Just because the view that I see is swift. It's flipped and swift, and switched. I just can't eat switched and flipped, which is swift in Kal's nonsensical English.
You're allowed to invent words.
Version of the language.
So now there's all this funny video of you wiggling your hand around.
Perfect. We're so high tech, guys. You just you cannot believe how
we're the slickest operation.
How together we are. All right. What have people got to say, Kim?
Okay.
The more we hear what they have to say and the less they hear what I have to say, the better at this point, I'm thinking.
You just need a break. Val says she's using the rose with Japanese papers.
Ooh, yeah, that's lovely. A great idea. Yeah.
I'm dying to do some shopping at the Japanese paper place. I want to get like a variety of papers I'm not used to using and a stack of consistent paper for some stuff I have in mind. But moving on to our chat. Françoise said she had a wonderful trip, saw lots of art in Paris. Oh, feeling just a little envious there.
Yeah.
Françoise, and visited various places, most of my family as well. Well,
excellent.
That's something.
Yeah. I don't think she's in Paris, though. You didn't see Edith by any chance, did you? You can let us know.
Please say hi to Edith.
Yeah,
for us, next time you're in touch with her. Lisa Kemp is here. She says, hi,
Lisa.
Kim and Kal.
Hey, Lisa.
It's good to be back. I've been looking forward to the jam. Oh, that's so nice.
And
welcome back.
A few of you guys posted some lovely pieces since we last jammed, particularly in response to the Paris Collage Collective. So yeah, some lovely stuff there. And I'm not sure why I'm having so much problem with my knife. I just it seems to be pulling paper rather than cutting it.
Maybe you just need to get a new blade.
I just finished snapping it, which is why I'm surprised.
I know. So just snap it again, just see.
Yeah, no, it's possible.
You just might have a bum blade there.
Well, I may also have been using it for some kind of cutting. That
use that masking tape.
I'm going to use that masking tape. I'm looking for this. Okay. Off to a funny start. There we go. Let's try it. If first you don't succeed,
don't worry. There's lots of chat. I can
please relay.
Get caught up on here. Yeah. Françoise writes, "We'll be using the rose, but we'll have to leave early to pick up grandkid at school."
Right.
Well, that's certainly a worthy reason to have to leave. I'm sorry you'll have to go, but lucky grandkid.
Exactly.
That's what I say. Sonia says, "A Brampton rose." Sonia Titus is here.
Oh, hey, Sonia. How are you? Glad to have you along. Are you just hanging out or collaging? Let us know.
I think she may have discovered that we were on through the Instagram Live.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Because
I think she was there.
Yes. Well, you know that Kim, she doesn't miss tricks. So.
Well, I thought it would be a good idea to try that out, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes people forget that this is going on and they think, oh, rats, I missed it again. So.
Yes. One of these days I should do some more promotion for it. So.
Philippa is here.
Yay. Hey,
writes,
Philippa.
"I'm here too. Couldn't get chat to work before. Strangely enough, I have just completed a small collage painting of a rose that my son gave me for Christmas." Smile.
That's great. So you're already in a rose kind of frame of mind. That's wonderful.
That's great. Yeah. Where are we here? Philippa said, "I'll post this on the collage Facebook page."
Great. Thank you.
"Today I'm trying to complete another collage painting."
Right. Fair enough.
I'm just going to switch the network I'm on here. Hopefully that will be all right. I seem to be having issues on, I don't know why it's trying to use the extender.
That's not a good thing.
No. I just, a note to everybody else, our Wi-Fi extender is farther away than our actual modem is that has Wi-Fi in it. So it was struggling to feed my computer the Wi-Fi it needed, and I have no idea why it was insistent on using the extender.
It would be nice if it automatically chose the strongest signal.
I think in theory it does, but not so much in practice.
Yes.
Françoise writes, "I spent lots of time with my sister Edith. We'll say hi from you."
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. Sonia writes, "She's watching with a cup of tea, and yes, she came from Instagram." That's great.
Yeah. Sometimes the magic works.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I don't have any real idea what I'm going to work on, so I'm just kind of warming myself up a little bit by just doing a close crop. In other words, cutting it out.
It's a good default position, I think.
Yeah, because I think I have no idea whether I'll use it that way or not, but it's a kind of way to sort of warm up my hands and brain.
Yeah.
While I get underway.
It's good. It's always good to have some form of warm-up activity because your brain does need warming up as well as all the fine motor control of your hands. Ricky's here.
Hey, yay, Ricky. How are you? Glad to have you along.
She's here from south of the border, which is now open and we can move freely, sort of.
Yeah, freely, sort of, exactly. Yeah. So
that's about the size of it.
But it is a positive development, that's for sure.
Oh, Philippa, it sounds like I might have said Christmas when I should have said Thanksgiving. Sorry about that. Yeah, it is too early for Christmas. I mean, he must be planning the 48 days of Christmas if he's starting now, right?
I take it. I don't remember you making any mention of that. Was that in the chat, Kim, or
yes, that was about the rose that her son gave her for Thanksgiving.
Ah, okay, right.
That she did a collage painting of.
Right.
Yeah. And up until recently, I was doing a lot of gel plate printing with a lot of plant material.
Botanical type things, right?
In fact, I had to do a big cleanup before this virtual collage jam to get all my dead plant material out.
Yes, our dining table looked like a
graveyard,
a botanical mortuary.
Yeah, of course, a few of those leaves are really very interesting, and I've saved them for photography. And a few of the plants survived, and so I have them in fresh water with fresh cut stems, and I will try again. See if you can
resuscitate them for a little bit more printing. Yeah.
Sonia says Christmas will start in 68 days, so I wasn't too far off.
Yeah, it's the older I get, the faster these things come at me, it seems.
Yeah.
Not to say that means I'm any more prepared.
The more irritated you get when the decorations are out early.
Well, yes, that's
right. It's not even when it's not even Labor Day, but the Halloween stuff is starting to come out. I get pretty annoyed.
Yeah, back to school starts in late June.
Not far off. God. Yeah. Good. You got one cut out.
I do indeed. There's something satisfying just about a simple close crop, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. The challenge when you go pro is to move beyond that.
I am going to attempt to do that.
Excellent.
I'm gonna flip through a few of my other things just to see what might catch my eye and seem interesting in relationship. Possibly, or maybe not. We'll just have to see how it goes.
This might be a handy time for me to mention that if you enjoy these virtual collage jams, or this one in particular, if you wouldn't mind giving us a like under the video window, it helps spread the word just a little bit more about the event on the YouTube algorithm.
That's right.
We're not looking to become massive YouTube superstar influencers, and
if
we are, we're
not really going about it the wrong way.
Pretty anemic start,
yeah.
But we do want as many people as who might be interested in this to know about it as possible.
Sometimes. Isn't that kind of fun?
It really is.
Like she's wearing a sort of a sheer floral.
Yeah.
She's got the leather jacket, and the size of the
I'm really liking that.
Kind of fits very easily. Crazy. So I mean that may be a cheap trick, but sometimes it's just like happens to be what works. So that might be.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. Might be the basis of something. It might be the be all and end all. We'll just see.
Yeah, I recently did a digital collage that had only 2 apparent images combined in it, but there was actually a third
there was more
one
more going on than that, right? Yeah,
affected them, but wasn't explicitly visible. which if you're interested, you can see on my Instagram account. It has the northern lights in it. That'll make it easy to spot. Oh, look at that. Those beautiful orange pages.
That's a great orange page, isn't it?
Yeah. That's not common.
No.
To get a treat like that.
No. So it seems to be I have a couple
Their
of
brand.
spreads. Yeah. At least in this moment that this magazine was published, anyway. Lots of them change quickly.
It's funny, fashion changes, but fashion magazines have so much in common with the ones I was looking at 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah. And
oops, I shouldn't have said that. I've really dated myself now, right?
I'd date you all over again.
Would you?
I would.
Well, that's very nice. Well, likewise,
You're a smoothie.
Did everybody have a good Thanksgiving?
That's a good question because
we didn't have an event right after Thanksgiving. This is the first one after that.
That's right. I'd forgotten that. I was wondering why it seemed like I thought, I guess it's because last week was your event, but then
it wasn't.
Like last week wasn't your event.
No,
so, no, exactly.
We took the holiday. Imagine that. We weren't very good at doing that last year, so we realized we needed to this year. Sonia says, "Aw," in response to our little back and forth. I think, yeah, pretty good after all the I don't know, 10 years we've been together, right? It's been like half our lives, right?
I think we're pushing 14 years now. Don't tell anyone. I'll be shocked.
All right.
That's kind of fun. So I'm just looking for a few things that might or might not be interesting with that rose, and we'll just see. Well, I don't even know what that's from, but it's looking...
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking at... You're probably looking at this one. But
no,
okay, you're looking at the same one I was. Yeah, okay, too. Yeah.
Nice and ambiguous.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of empty space.
I looked at that and thought, ambiguous, that is great. Interesting and ambiguous. It's kind of a winning combination for art. Yeah, exactly. So
Ricky says, I've been using old National Geographics and they are not nearly as generative as the ones you are using. Or maybe it is I who is limited, ...
I think, different strokes for different folks and different, it depends what you're looking for. I almost too often default to fashion magazines. It's what I have quite a few of, and I find them full of very rich imagery. Not without issue, but definitely interesting. But I'm also so I've gathered a whole bunch of things here.
It would be good to mix it up.
Exactly.
So Ricky, I think if you're not finding the National Geographics sufficiently generative, because don't beat yourself up if you're not coming up with the ideas. Of course, you have to look for the opportunities, and sometimes it's more work than others. But I would also recommend you find some other quite different material to work from, some other kind of magazine or book or something you can cut up, and then maybe you'll find some interesting connections and contrasts between the two sources.
That's very well put, Kim.
I hope you don't mind my...
I don't. I'm grateful because two heads are always better than one.
Yeah, and your head needs to be occupied with what you're doing there.
Half distracted.
those old books. Like here, Cal's working from an old DIY book or something, popular science series book. And you get very different material from there, which can be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Sonia writes, Thanksgiving was my 30th wedding anniversary. Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's incredible. And a testament.
Yeah. That's a beautiful thing. The what did we celebrate this year? What year is this? 2021. Oh. So I guess this year was our 21st wedding anniversary.
And
plus 10.
And 31st anniversary of meeting.
Yeah. Not of meeting. Of starting.
Of starting, yes. Of the realization that it was a relationship.
Yeah. Sonia muses about whether this collage is Halloween based, and then she also mentions Guns N' Roses.
Yes, in fact, you saw that too.
Yeah,
actually, that's hilarious. I mean, there's
an idea worth stealing, Cal.
Exactly. I flipped by it and I thought, I don't want to do the. But you didn't point that, or until you pointed that out, I didn't make that connection. Yeah, there was a page about getting started with a shotgun, and you can tell it's a different era, right?
Yeah. It is.
I'll grab that one in case it's something that So here's the article. How to select a modern shotgun.
The rows of guns.
Yeah, the row is
good,
pretty.
I think.
The rows.
Rows of guns. Just saying.
Oh, I tell you, this stuff writes itself.
It does. It does.
If Kal can only hear it.
We've got a future in comedy here.
I tell you, okay.
Not a bright future.
I don't know. Worth a shot, anyway.
Oh.
Okay. And this is also kind of interesting.
Sonia says LOL and perfect. Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Look, it's like camouflage. And if this were smaller, it would just disappear.
Well, and if you colored the rose pink to go with the pink background of the guns. Yep. Oh my God. It's insane the levels we could go to.
I'm telling you.
By the way, isn't that fun?
That is fun.
I don't know if anybody else can see that.
It's sort of off in the corner, but definitely get it into center stage. Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah. I know.
I love cutouts.
What's not to love, right?
Thing.
Yeah.
Every virtual collage jam, because I sit at the side of the table, I realize, I have those gel plate prints hanging up on the whiteboard. And every time I fail to take them down, I forget about them, and then I notice them again. Right. It's sort of my life, actually.
Not in there. Okay. Just looking for my knife because
You have a knife.
I have a knife. That's not
a pencil.
I have the wrong word. I'm looking for the right word for the thing I'm looking for.
Searching.
Yeah, exactly. Tell you guys, some days are worse than others, and apparently I'm. This is one of those days.
I should have a T-shirt made up for you that has the beach ball on the on the search.
Exactly. Oh, that is my brain, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. So, in the interest of gluing something quickly, I'm just going to work with. I'm going to get one underway quickly because sometimes that's good.
Sorry if my ice cubes are noisy, everybody. Having a nice cold drink. Boy, so interesting.
Well, I'm glad you think so.
I do. I don't know about the rest of you, but I sort of like the suspense of seeing what Kal's going to come up with.
Well, they're busy making their own collages, so they don't have to get too suspensed out.
I guess. Not Sonia, though. Sonia and I are just kicking back, having something to drink.
Right.
Enjoying the show.
Hush fell over while Kal started thinking.
Well, I think there's some value to watching you think. You know? Oh, Elaine Windsor is here.
Hey, how are you, Lainey?
She writes, I always excitedly watch what Kal's brain will come up with. It's the reason I tune in. I love seeing what other people come up with.
And I love seeing what you guys come up with. So it's the feeling's mutual.
Yeah. The creative ferment in the Facebook group, eh?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Elaine says, I'm great, thanks. I'm so glad to hear it. And I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. This year we opted for a roast beef. No one in the family is that keen on turkey. So typically we've purchased a capon, which we prefer. But this year we decided on a strip loin?
A strip loin roast. Now we often, when we buy steaks, we buy strip loins and love them.
We just love them, yeah.
And
we don't often buy steaks.
No, exactly. It's a 2 or 3 times a year thing, or maybe 2 times a year. But yeah, so it was just a long, skinny roast, and it took very little time to cook. And it was delicious.
Yeah,
and
it was fantastic.
It was like 5 times better than turkey as far as how it tasted, and took less than a fifth the time of a turkey. Yeah. And so to my simple preparatory mind, that was bonus.
Yeah. And it was definitely a special meal. Kal cooked the whole meal and outdid himself, and he even made a pumpkin pie that I could eat. For those of you who don't know, I have a lot of foods my body won't tolerate, and so I eat. There are many common foods I'm not able to eat. So it was amazing for Kal to manage a pumpkin pie I could eat, because I don't think I'd had pumpkin pie in at least 20 years. And I loved pumpkin pie.
And Kim's been eating keto of late, which actually made it way easier to make the crust, because the crust was like 3 ingredients and not a lot of prep.
And it was good.
And it was easy. It was super easy to make.
Easy and good. What more can you ask for? Ricky asks, have you ever had duck? Now that was another thing we were considering
Yeah,
having.
because I called Kim from the grocery store and I said, so here's the options that I'm thinking of. And one was what we went with, and the other one was duck. And I said, how about we try duck? So what do you think, Ricky? We haven't tried it yet. We've eaten it at Chinese restaurants, barbecued duck and so on. And have you prepared it? Do you enjoy it?
I've had French duck as well, but Chinese duck a lot more.
Yeah, and the fat is supposed to be healthy, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, from duck
monounsaturated. But it's also, I know when you're cooking goose or duck, it's the opposite of cooking turkey. Turkeys, you're always battling against it drying out, but
and
goose and duck have
the opposite.
lots of fat.
Right.
So
you need fat management.
Yeah. So, but that's good because I want to harvest the fat and use it because I can't eat butter. I'd like to try using duck fat instead of butter. Sonia said that she had duck on Thanksgiving. Very rich, she said. Yeah. Val said, we do duck on the barbecue. Quite good. Oh, that's a lovely idea, isn't it, Cal?
Yeah.
Barbecue. Yeah. Well, and when we eat Chinese duck, we're usually having barbecue duck. Although with Peking duck, you have a lot of different uses for the duck. Ricky writes, I love duck. Not Chinese duck too much. There is a company here called Darjantian that specializes in ducks, and it's delicious. Well, that's good inspiration.
We decided not to go with it this time, but that it was something we were going to consider for future, so maybe even at Christmas. So,
well, we thought we should try it for just the two of us first to experiment with cooking it, not experiment on the holiday meal.
Yeah. And that is probably a wise idea.
Yeah. So what's happening with her?
Well, I was playing with this other and not finding anything striking me immediately. So I put it on the back burner of my brain because I will come back to it because I like the elements I've got going there. And I've come back to her. And because I thought, okay, I knew that was working to some extent, so I'm just going to put that into my brain to think about. And something I love doing is seeing what's on the other side. And now I happen to have seen that it's same model but a different outfit and
what
different scale.
What does it look like with the rose instead of her face?
It looks rosy. But one thought I had was playing something like this.
Yeah.
And then I was also thinking, what if I slice it across and have half of her head at a different scale, which might be interesting.
That could be.
And I might do that.
I look at that and I think I want to do some mixed media. I want to draw rose vines with thorns and leaves sort of like twisting around and
interacting
in the negative spaces.
Yeah.
And extending her out that way.
Yeah. Oh, and I just had a thought. Okay. So I'm going to try a couple of things here. I can locate my knife again. She's got this, she's cradling a purse, but I was just thinking, what if we cut her arm so that it can come forward of the rose so that she's cradling the rose?
Oh, that's a nice idea.
So I'm going to see whether that is something that will work.
Spotted an opportunity there. Yeah, and if you just make it a slit,
exactly.
You can change your mind.
Yeah. So some of my students have said that ever since they took my lessons, they hear my voice in their head when they're making decisions and about what to do. And the reason I mention that is it happens to a lot of us. And for me, I hear Kim's voice.
Oh, really?
In a particular context, and it's this. I tend to be too slavish to an image and try and preserve it. And you have said, mess with the image. It's your work, not make it more your work than the work of the original photographer or whoever's work you're reworking with.
Yeah.
So I've come across a few things, and so that always makes me push a little further. And so that gave me the idea to put this slit in so she was cradling the rose rather than just plonking it on top of her. And then as I did that, I noticed, oh, it's kind of like it's covering part of her face, which is good because faces are so powerful. And it also looks like she's kind of got her nose in it and she's smelling it. I thought, okay, so those are two good positive developments. And then I was thinking, all right, and what I'm going to do is like cut at least one side of the background off so I can put a new background in. See how that plays. And I may just keep going like that until I reach a point where it's a little more interestingly using but not riding on the source material in quite the same way.
Yeah. My friend David says on Instagram, he says he's sorry he can't join because he's working at the clinic right now, but he sure wishes he could.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Next time, David. Well, and you can catch it on the replay too. So
Ricky asks, is just the rose on the torso too simple? And then she adds, oh, GG, nice. I'm just going to say very nice.
Yeah.
Close enough.
I am often a less is more kind of a person. So it really will depend a lot on what I'm thinking and how any particular set of collage components strikes me.
And how powerful an effect it is, right? Like, some people just slap something down. Even artists who are well respected, they slap things down and they think, okay, that's it. And I find it very unsatisfactory because I really feel like they have not made enough of their own statement doing it.
Yeah.
Other times they have. You know, it just depends.
And so it's in part a gut response. And in part, in my case, I think an intentional, like I want to see if I can take it to a little further away. So, because I definitely do collages with 2 pieces of paper, 4 pieces of paper, and then I sometimes do with pieces with like 40, right? So in this case, I'm just going to experiment with taking it a little further to see where it can go.
Sonia says that orange wants to be part of the fun.
It does. It may steal the show, but it's definitely worth a look, isn't it?
Well, that's pretty cool. And it ties into the dots on her jacket.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In a way. Excuse me. I'm just going to say, what if you threw the damask in over top of the polka dot paper where the rose is?
Over there?
Yeah, or horizontally, so it's a little narrower.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Just to see what it looks
no,
like.
No, absolutely. There's something interesting about that. And I'm going to, the next thing I'm going to do is like, I'm going to remove, it sounds surgical, but I promise it won't hurt. I'm going to remove one of her thighs in part because she's got the pattern tights on, so or it might actually be the pattern.
I think it's the skirt, isn't it?
I think it might be both because the roses seem to be wrapping around her, but I can't tell. Oh, you know what? It's the skirt is wrapping around. Anyway, my thinking is, wouldn't it be interesting and a little bit enriching and to have one leg in a different pattern than the other? So
he's gonna give it a try.
Give it a whirl. Yeah, exactly. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Cut a hole that I can then slip things underneath to see if they look interesting.
Sonia says, I feel like I'm making art because you tried it out with that orange thing.
Yeah.
And she said, or add a gun.
Yes, I've actually had a thought that those guns might find their way into this eventually.
Who knows? You have to stay right through to the end to find out how this all turns out.
And how about you guys? What sort of things are you combining the rose with, if you are? Curious to know what juxtapositions or analogies, like things that are
some of the wordplay we had going on earlier.
Oh, spinner.
It's funny. I'm looking at your table of papers everywhere for collaging.
Yep.
And it's even though there's stuff all over the place, it's actually quite easy to sort of find stuff. Whereas when I'm gel plate printing, the sheer density of different kinds of paper and materials to work with and tools. And
well, I think I like to keep it to a dull roar, and you like to keep a lot of options open.
Well, it also requires more equipment, right?
Yes.
Spraying.
Yeah, for sure.
I just need a studio with workstations. So I have my printmaking workstation and my drawing workstation, digital.
That has kind of an anatomical feel there.
It really does.
It kind of
like
feels
a femoral artery going on.
Exactly.
I must say I like that. Can you stick the color background to your left?
Yes.
Just to see it.
Oh yeah. So to see those combinations. Yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
Just plans all.
Thanks, Sonia. Sonia's helping us out here. Reminding everyone, don't forget to thumbs up a like. Those thumbs, they get worked out.
Yeah.
Who knew 25 years ago that our thumbs would become so important, symbolically and literally? Rebecca says, infinite workstations, wink. You know what I mean. I know you're a multidisciplinary girl too, just like me. So how many media do we need to play in, right? Well, and I just I've been doing some sorting, purging, organizing in a desperate attempt to reclaim the things I have and find ways to make it workable, and found a whole new stash of paper I'd forgotten I had.
That's classic right there, isn't it?
You know, I thought I was doing so well, gradually working my way through using up some of my paper inventory, and then found this whole other stash.
And did your heart leap or sink?
Well, it sort of did both. Like,
because I mean,
I love
finding
paper.
More paper is never a bad thing, right?
Exactly. And it's, it's paper I don't have to buy because it's already there. Yeah. And also I noticed I had some sizes that I didn't realize I had more of, so that is always nice. But yeah, it does mean I need to be either printmaking or drawing or something to use them. Rebecca says, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, we understand each other. I don't know about anybody else here, but do you find, I find that when I am sorting and purging and organizing, it's like I have to create much greater chaos for an extended period of time before the progress becomes visible, which I find is a bit.
It's a little galling, isn't it? And disheartening.
It's demoralizing. Yeah. You're working so hard, but when you look around, it looks like a hurricane went through the place. So, Sonia says, I also just shared on Facebook. Sonia, awesome. Thank you so much. Because sharing is caring. It certainly is.
Well, thank you, Sonia.
Sharing is amazing.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
I'm so glad you could join us anyway. It's nice to see you here. Even though I can't see you, I can see you. You know what I mean?
See you metaphorically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting hard to figure things out. Ooh. Now there's something interesting.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, me too. There's something there that I think.
Clean, angular.
Yeah, exactly.
Simplifying.
A little simpler. It's interesting, I like the charge of the red, but I think it may come in a secondary role rather than.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I've just got a few ideas. So.
Yay! I recognize that tone of voice.
I think the red is going to come out of it.
He's got something figured out.
Well, don't get carried away.
Oh no, it's the voice of an inspired Kal. I just had an impulse. Memories of sitting in a dentist's office as a child waiting to see the dentist and looking at one of those big, they always seem to have one of those philodendron monstera plants in their office that are now so trendy. The really big leaves with the beautiful cutouts that naturally appear. And the other thing that I associate with it, so that maybe a bit of wood paneling, right? And the girl from Ipanema playing over the sound system.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I was tempted to start singing it, but I'll spare you.
Oh, don't spare us, Kim.
Yeah, no, I'm going to spare us. I don't want to scare people away. Sonia says, nice, I am liking. Thank you, Sonia. That's lovely to hear. It's a good rose you picked, actually. You can see all sorts of possibilities with that rose.
All right. Thing with slipping stuff into little gaps is it's easy to slip it in, but then that sounds rude. It's easy to fit the pieces, dry fit them, but then it's much more difficult to glue them. So
you have to find an anchor point, surely, and then
yeah. So I think, and let's see if I glue that part down, I can then.
You could even use a little bit of painter's tape on the back.
Yeah, no, I'm going to use a little bit of a temporary hold.
So this is a good tip for those of you who wonder how to deal with situations like this.
You know, sometimes the painter's tape, I've just put it on my...
Yeah, get a little lint on it.
Got a little lint on the sticky side.
I meant to tape it on the back.
Yeah, I'm going to tape it here.
Okay.
And that's why I needed the lint, because I don't want it to peel it up.
Yeah.
But I'm then going to flip it over like this and glue this side. And at that point, I noticed that there's a piece cut out that I didn't quite finish cutting out. Get that out there. Yeah. Is it enough? I might need a couple of pieces.
So now put the next piece of tape on the back so that you don't risk any image.
Like back here?
No, flip it over.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's
right.
what I mean by the back.
Like, now
there's no reason not to have the tape on the back where it doesn't affect anything. You could actually remove that one.
I'm going to. Yeah, 2 brains are better than 1. Yeah.
Because magazine pages and so on, the image can be quite fragile because the ink application is very thin.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. And these are things that I worry about.
Yeah.
But
you can put as many pieces of tape as you want on the back.
Yeah, exactly. So I've outsourced my procedural brain to Kim today. It seems. I do track on this stuff a little more when I'm doing my own work by myself, but that's when I haven't got my part of my brain on articulating.
I know it is quite different doing art as a form of performance. It can increase your energy, but it certainly can reduce your focus.
And now with that side glued, I can remove this and secure this side, although it's less important really because it's going to be layered in underneath other stuff, but it can't hurt to have a little more security.
Stabilizes it structurally.
Yeah.
Which is handy. Yeah, that's a good little thing to get.
In fact, it's hidden, so I guess it doesn't
tear.
really matter. But
no, but in case something causes it to tear.
Yeah. So, and then I need this piece. Something that I will do a lot, which worth mentioning here, is I will, from my design background, I try and keep as many options open as long as possible. It's so, for instance, I know I want to use this piece showing through her thigh, and I thought, oh, and I might like that band along the bottom. I might end up just like cutting it off, but I thought, well, I'll leave it there for now. So I'm going to glue this piece in underneath so that for the thigh to work and have that piece there where I can use it or remove it.
I'd say even if you don't like the band in the end, the stem and the bottom of the leaf that are there are kind of, for me, really important.
You know,
the irregularity of that.
Yeah. And I think what's great about that, and I think you're bang on, Kim, and I think that might have been subconsciously the reason I started to keep this, is there's something great about an image that is sort of cut off, but then part of it isn't, right? Yeah. So the photographic part of the image ends there, right? But now I put this thing that sort of continues that leg a little bit further in a sort of bizarre way. Same thing there. Like this was not my best cut, but I thought, I have a little white, I'll extend her head there. That may or may not stay, but
violating rectangles is a really valuable thing to do when collaging.
Yes, exactly. Well put.
Because so much of the material is rectangular.
Yeah.
Photography is so often presented in a rectangular way, so don't be limited by the rectangle. Find ways to grow beyond it when appropriate, when helpful.
Yeah. So I'm going to cut this a little shorter. Knife. There's the knife. Ruler. There's the ruler.
Your piles are thin enough that you can actually feel them.
I can actually feel things.
It's not like my piles. I've got hardcore piles, sadly.
Right. Okay. Figured it out.
Good.
I was thinking, okay, and now that I've sort of got tape to hold it in position, I'll just flip it over here and put glue on it. No, that'll get the part I want. So I have to glue this side if I want to glue it. But I also need to know how far to do the glue. But that's less critical because it's on the back, so it doesn't matter as much. But if I put a couple of little pieces of tape at the corner there, that tells me not to go too far beyond that. So that's going to work out a lot better. I should be doing this over top of my glue sheet.
Get your glue sheet. I want your cutting mat getting covered in glue.
I don't.
The one I just finished cleaning.
Yeah, well, especially then. Don't annoy the person who's done a very nice job of tidying up your workspace.
Well, I'm the one who needed to. I'm the one who made the mess.
Oh, you can say that, but I wasn't going to say
it. Such good marriage skills you have, Cal. By the way, it looks like a beautiful day for a walk right now.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. I know Jane usually goes for a walk after.
So does Philippa, I seem to recall.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
Before or after?
Right. Well, maybe we should after.
That sounds like a good plan. Okay.
It'll help clear the adrenaline.
It will. Okay. Something about the way we've got the lights set to having more difficulty.
Was it glary?
Yeah, a little bit. Not for that. Well, there is a bit of glare for them, but not very much. But for me, there's a little bit. So just fix that the next time I do it. We do it. Okay, so what was that thinking?
It was offset. It wasn't aligned like that. The black page was higher.
Right. Yes, that's right. Because what I remember noticing was that this white coming in was useful.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh, maybe I should like cut this down a little bit further so there's this kind of accentuated offset. So I might do that. Okay. Do a little composing.
Art walk. Yes. The only kind of art walk we can have right now. Next year, though, we're going to bring back the gallery walk and talk. That I started doing years ago, and then Kal started helping me out with them, and that seemed to be the perfect blend, actually, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah. Much like these live streams.
A little bit of glue down there that this is sticking to.
Ooh, there's some fun lines there, eh?
Yeah. Wanted to bring that out a little further.
Yeah.
I actually think I've got a 9x12 piece of paper that I was going to use as my base, but I think I need a bit bigger one. So I'm just going to go grab that.
Okay. There might be one next to you on the floor, but no. Okay. Well, how is your project going if you're working on one? If you're not working on one, or if you are, any favorite things about this fall? Favorite things in your garden? Favorite things that have happened? Favorite things that you've seen? I'm trying to think. What are my favorite things that I've seen? Oh, you know what's crazy? If you're on social media at all, the mushrooms growing this year are insane. People are posting huge puff balls.
Oh, those puff balls, yeah. And that people are making like roasts out of their
oh my God. Someone else posted these incredible, this was on Twitter actually, incredible big blue mushrooms.
Blue?
Yeah, and I think they were edible. I think they were preparing them for cooking, and they were really blue.
Wow.
Like not sort of, I can see how you can get away with calling it blue. Yeah. No, this was like
screaming blue. Eh?
Wow. Yeah, it was gorgeous and so surprising.
Yeah, I'll say.
Because blue's very uncommon in nature, so.
Yeah.
Gerda says, I saw 2 new galleries this weekend, one on St. Clair at Winona and another on Davenport near Dovercourt. I wasn't able to make out any names. Seems like the galleries have decentralized. Yeah, because as a result of COVID, things are in a state of flux. There will become, there have always been more than one area of galleries, but definitely with the state of flux, we'll see some movement. Some really old favorite galleries have closed because, lockdown whatever its negative effects, has been an opportunity for a lot of people to reflect on their lives. People who've been typically too busy maybe to reflect on them very much. And I think that has led people to make decisions about changing their life, including some gallerists. So, yeah. Yeah, I know there's a new one at St. Clair. I don't know if I'm thinking of the same one, Gerda, as you went to, but there's one I want to check out that's on St. Clair. That's a new one. But I think it has some good artists at it. So, yeah, it'll be good to see. And, if more galleries were to open up there, that would be fantastic, because that's pretty much Little Italy. One of the Corso Italia, I think they call it up there. My mother used to live on Bathurst, north of St. Clair. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think it may be interesting, but not the right idea, but we'll see. Sometimes if one is good, two is better, but oftentimes if one is good, two is too many. So we'll have to see. One thing I know is I want to take this to be sort of an extension of that skirt, such as it is. I might take that little strip of white off, because it's too skinny to actually be an element.
Yeah.
Even white on white, it's kind of distracting.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I think the next thing to do is like finalize this position, which I think I more or less know. It was going to be that. And I just want to try this again. So actually, kind of like this at her shoulder, but maybe a little bit further in so that it works at the head as well. Kind of thinking, I'm kind of liking that. So
that's whimsical.
Yeah. And she may get more or not, I'm not sure. So I want to secure that position and then glue it. So I guess doing it back here makes the most sense. Trying to learn from what my love has taught me.
I'm going to push this way a little bit. And when you have a moment, if you can push the artwork forward a little bit.
Yeah.
It's sort of starting to run off the bottom of the screen.
Working right in my lap there, practically. Not sure whether I even had that much overlap. We'll see. And it wasn't aligning that. It was aligning here. And we're going a little further over. I just want to see if that's in alignment. Looks like it is. Okay. Close
Lining things up with other things, right?
It's important from
visual relationship, structure, the architecture of the piece.
No, that's a pretty tenuous hold.
Well, you put a piece of green tape up there on her face.
Yeah, but I need to be able to get into that space to glue. But if I do it this way, I can do it that way. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Yep. Sort of the hinge needs to be big enough that it's that it works. So I will do it that way instead. All this just figuring out how they relate to it, how to do it.
Yeah.
Is kind of
the mechanics.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Well, I mean, with collage, you have to be able to get the sequence right, or screwed, aren't you?
Yeah. Okay, that goes to there. That's what I thought it did. And that is a solid there as well. So, okay. I don't want to go below that. Forgive me muttering to myself. I'm just trying to figure this out. I'll scrap a piece of paper here. Because, actually, I guess that doesn't matter because it's on the back side. So, okay, it's not as critical as I thought. Okay.
Jane writes, "Oh my God, I think I created a mask for Halloween."
That's great.
Well done,
I love
Jane.
it. I love it.
I just cut up willy-nilly and merged with other black and white cut-ups, and lo and behold, a portrait of a type suitable for this holiday.
That's great.
That's awesome. Karen Fedu's here. Hi,
Hey,
Karen.
Yeah, welcome along.
Nice to see
Yeah,
you.
that's lovely.
She writes, "Cool. Stepped away to pick up my new Bluetooth keyboard and cover, and it works. Amazon
Yay.
delivered 2 days early." Oh, that's exciting,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. Well, you made it back in time for that crucial step, so that's cool.
So there's still other games to play. I'm just now trying to figure out exactly how much of each side to show by laying on some white edges. I want it to be relatively off center.
Right.
So, because I often look to make things not equal. So I was looking at this big black L shape and thinking, okay, if it's wide there, I'll make it skinny there. But what that did was basically brought her closer to the center, which overall I think is less desirable. So I think what I'll do is cut it somewhere around here on the side.
Show as much black as possible.
And maybe, probably not that much. Well, you never know.
Yeah, see, that's
more
better.
Actually. Yeah. So
it's already better.
So again, proceeding from the knowns to the unknowns, I'm not sure exactly where over here, but I think like within
tight to the elbow, but
yeah,
not
a little
touching.
under 1/4 of an inch. So I'll make that decision first. I'll cut that and then proceed. So
going from the knowns to the unknowns, that sounds so so full of authority and experience there, Cal.
Don't believe everything you hear.
Elaine writes, "Must be Halloween in the art. I cut my rose into component parts and started playing. The rosebud looked like a bat head, so I went with it." Awesome. Elaine.
Yeah, I can see how those look like bat heads for sure. That's great. I love it. You went bat head crazy.
It's fun how what's going on, even in our subconscious, can show up in our art, and so often does. If we
everything factors in some interesting way, an unexpected way. I think maybe not everything, but lots of things. Let's put it that way. You know, stuff in our subconscious, things we're thinking about, things we're not thinking about, but have been thinking about. And then you sort of realize after the fact, oh, that came from that train of thought I was having a couple of days ago. Or
yeah.
So here's a little interesting thing. Like I was going to just eyeball this edge and I thought, okay,
But then
I couldn't remember
square.
if this was the inside of the magazine page or the outside. And actually, it doesn't matter. Like if it's the inside, it might well be wonky because I cut it by hand. But magazines are often trimmed imperfectly. So I thought, okay, but the edge of the photograph I can measure from. So I've measured in the right amount of distance from either side of that. So that's what I'm going to go with. Now, did I measure all that stuff? No, but at least this one. This side will.
Well, you're still busy going from the knowns to the unknowns.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Good point. Good point.
It's an 8-minute warning.
Wow.
Which I think looks like it might be working out really well.
Yeah, it may not be finished. Probably, but I'll be close, I think. Close to the sort of main bones of it. And then there might be some fine tuning. But yeah, I'm kind of inclined to agree with you, Kim, that more of that dark is better.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to try it on a horizontal page just to give it... Oh, it's not enough. Okay, sorry.
Well,
just ignore me.
I may go to a completely different pad, but the other possibility... So, the other possibility is that, which I haven't... One of the unknowns I haven't figured out yet is whether I'm doing the sort of leaf head thing going on. And that will need some space up there if I do.
Yeah.
So kind of like one going over top of the or sort of white head and one behind it.
Well, and just remember, if it gets big enough, we have 18 by 24.
Oh yeah, no, we can go as big as we need to. Past a certain point, too big will mean that she is too small overall, I think. So I'm kind of feeling that this is the approximate ballpark right scale, but we shall see. So now I'm going to play try a couple of ideas with this, but I'm thinking they probably won't happen, but we'll see. We'll see.
Should try the damask there. The black and white damask.
Yeah, I will try that. I'm going to try one other thing.
Yep.
Which is a little snippet of imagery.
Yep. Good idea. Elaine says, this is always the fastest hour and a half of the week.
That's very sweet of you to say, and I feel exactly the same, Elaine. It does seem to just fly by. I am always amazed at that. But
that definitely makes our heart go squoosh, though.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. Ooh, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, so this image, it has lots of interest here.
Yeah.
But it was kind of the color that I was drawn to. So I'm going to try this side. And in fact, that's kind of fun right there. Possibly anyway. So it's having a little dialogue back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's got that sky is similar to her original background.
Yeah, and that is a relationship. I might cut it off there. Which, to test, I need a piece of white paper. Do you have a piece of white paper, Cal?
Yeah. But
if you
is
may,
the other side of this white?
Yeah.
Drag it down to the bottom of the paper.
Drag it down to the bottom of the paper.
Instead of cutting it off. Don't do what you've just done. pull that new page down to hit the bottom of your
paper. Okay. See, I was, whether it's valid or not, don't know. But I was...
Well, you can line up the top of that band with the bottom of that rectangle. You don't have to line up the bottom of that band.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it takes a minute for it to show up on my screen, so I can't.
You can't see it yet.
No. I think that there's value to that alignment but offset.
Yeah, I agree.
At the same time,
yeah.
It makes it more dynamic.
Yeah.
What you've just heard there, everybody, is a classic example of our origins as design collaborators.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wondering about relationships, which one's critical, which one's more important.
Oh yeah, you see, I'm now seeing it. I like it better lower.
Yeah, and I've just changed it again. So it may change again, right? It's constantly changing. Yeah, no,
Artist
exactly.
Prerogative. Yeah, that's why you got to stay to the very end. You just never know what's going to happen.
I fear that staying to the end isn't going to be enough for this one. I think it's. I think Kal is going to be.
You're not going to be concluded. Is that what you're saying?
I have the feeling I'm going to be
not going to reward us with the final iteration.
It's not that I don't want to reward you. It's just that I'm not sure that I can.
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody does.
Yeah.
This isn't art on demand, Inc. It's just not that simple.
Would that it were. But you know what? If it were, we wouldn't enjoy it as much.
No. Because we're gluttons for punishment.
That's us.
Yeah.
That's pretty
and
fun.
Everybody here, presumably, because
they're watching. God help them. I hope you enjoy our insane sense of humor.
Well, our banter.
Banterology.
Now I feel like there needs to be a map.
So, you know what? We'll see. But I'm kind of enjoying some aspects of this because red is often used to power up some important things. So like the rose, or, we can't see her lips, but her lips or her eyes or something like that would make sense. But I kind of like that it's up there and down there rather than on where the psychological weight is.
It's less illustrative then.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not sure.
Is that black area wide enough?
It might not be quite wide enough.
Let's
shove that over a little bit and test it a little wider yet. Because, and maybe this one needs to be super skinny.
My asking that is because more difference between the thickness of the horizontal bottom and the vertical will create something more effective. If it's too similar,
as designers, we're on the lookout for that, and yet we miss it lots of times. The trying to avoid lots of things that are too similar. Similar widths of things, similar.
If they're going to be similar, then they should really.
Yeah.
Really,
instead of being like almost the same as really the area you don't want to be, almost the same, either very similar or more different, are
the
on.
exception of irregular things that can't be the same, but can be similar, and you're doing repetition. But in terms of this kind of thing, proportions, it's very important to look at those relationships. Rebecca says, just post it on Facebook when it's done.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen, Rebecca, because it's not.
I think it's getting close.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel like it is. I feel like it's maybe slightly too sterile geometric over here. Some little organic echo over there.
Yeah.
But do I know exactly what that is going to be? Not
you might
yet.
need to sit with it. Rebecca adds, we have our own complementary insane senses of humor. Excellent. That these are our people, Kal. And we are your people. Damask, it's making another appearance. It does have a nice relationship to her jacket. Getting rid of the band entirely. Well, that's interesting. I wish it would show up on my screen, though.
Yeah, poor Kim's aware of the lag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I say that, you'll be seeing it. But because I'm live,
yeah,
there's a lag going on. It looks like it's going to show up shortly. Seems like an interesting idea, though. So.
Yeah. I'm just going to hold that in place while I do a little digging.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, now I cut her out, and I think I may have destroyed it, but sometimes the negative piece, you know what, we haven't brought in the guns, and they may or may not find
and
their
I'm
way.
Sure Sonia's been wondering about the
She's been waiting ever so patiently.
Yeah.
So, that,
because
that would definitely bring psychological weight.
Certainly would.
It might be too much, but you never know.
It could also be a horizontal element that kind of comes in across that extreme vertical. And this is a much more complex construction than the ones you were doing the first day back.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody missed the first Virtual Collage Jam in September, Kal did, I don't know, like 4 collages or something.
Yeah, it was
quick and responsive.
It was a mad flurry.
Super high energy.
Yeah.
Very, very different.
Don't seem to have that energy today.
Well, I notice, compared to how you were in the spring, you're still, I think, operating higher energy, higher speed than you were in the spring. Having been refreshed by a little time away and a little time up north. Ooh. That's fun. The power of repetition, eh?
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting, too, because you have these bent stripes in this ambiguous thing, and you have the bent stripes in her garment there.
Kind of like this, a little bit like a barcode down the side or something, right? So.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think I'm going to like this, but I'm going to try it anyway.
Yeah, you got to try stuff because always keeping it in your head, making decisions based on what's in your head means you miss out on a lot.
One of the things that is so great about collage is that you can try things, right? I mean, it's easy to try them and you don't have to commit to them because you're dry fitting them. So
well, that's quite fun, very skinny and irregular like that. You know?
Yeah.
It makes me think of the rose itself. That
I just had another thought. So
he's cooking. It is 3:36.
Yeah.
So do this other thought.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to because, and then
of course you're. I can feel it's a hot idea. Philip says the War of the Roses. This particular image element has just been a fabulous opportunity for wordplay, hasn't it?
It has.
Unexpectedly. That's certainly not why he chose it. Just emerged, which is awfully nice.
It's not quite long enough. I need to make this a separate piece, a new piece for this idea, but I'll test the concept here.
Yeah.
Which is something like...
You can always add some on, like another scrap on, just to make it long enough if you need to.
Yeah. Yeah, for testing purposes, I'm going to throw in another piece here. But... Oh, it's fun if it can work conceptually. So what I was thinking about was the idea of like some smoke coming out of the guns. In which case it'd probably be better to cut them right off at the barrel ends, and then sort of heading to the top. But
if you want to be that literal.
No, it might be too literal.
You could also just do a little cutout on the bottom one.
Right. Yes.
To have it emerge, right? Well, what do you think, everybody? You think Kal's headed down an interesting direction here with his gun ends?
Yeah, I'm not convinced yet, but we'll see.
And his
we'll see.
smoke, damask smoke. There's a surprising.
Yeah, I know.
It's odd.
It is odd. It might be too
I think the little sliver, the irregular sliver that
was
you
working
had
better.
Was really nice.
Yeah. So something more.
Oh, I guess you tore up the irregular sliver, right?
Well, I mean, I can definitely use
the skinny though.
Yeah, something like that to test it. It's kind of fun having it end.
You're making the pink skinnier. Now you've ended up. Well, I'm just going to point out you've ended up with the damask and the pink and black guns being very similar.
Same width. Yeah, exactly.
Widths, which is something we just talked about.
Not avoiding.
Whereas it was looking really exciting when the damask was really skinny.
Yeah.
And the guns had more width.
I'm in agreement.
Jane writes, very cool, Kal. Wondering how it would be if damask was cut into a gun shape. I love that idea, Jane.
Yeah.
Because what an unexpected.
Yeah.
It's like a little paradox, right?
Yeah, totally.
This elegant, decorative.
Yep. So we may have to try
item.
That.
Yeah. That sounds really worth trying.
So I think at this point I'm going to have to call it because I think I can feel my objectivity leaving. So I need to
you
step
need a
away
rest.
From it. Yeah, exactly.
That's all.
Yeah.
It's been 90 minutes.
Exactly. So
and how's everybody else doing with it? I know we've got a Halloween mask. We've got another Halloween-y thing. Anybody else? Right. The other Halloween-y thing was a bat. A bat made of a rose. That I can't wait to see. And the mask.
Sorry for the crazy camera angle shifts, guys.
Cal's going to show you his face again. Well, that was fun, eh?
Thanks so much for joining us, guys. I can hardly wait to see what you guys post in the Facebook group. I will figure this one out, I think, hopefully. And I may just go for it regardless of what, but I think I'm going to take a little time away from it and then and probably come back a little later this evening and just like, okay, I think I know what I want to do, or even if I don't, I'll commit to it and post it. So I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with.
Yeah. And good for you for showing up and giving it a go, even if you didn't feel prepared, and so on, because that's come up for a couple of
I certainly wasn't prepared either.
Exactly,
so.
Right?
Yeah.
This is the thing. So it's totally fine. You don't have to be prepared. You can just kind of think on the fly, and it doesn't, and Ricky, it doesn't have to all turn out the way you'd hoped. We're looking forward to seeing your gruesome Halloween thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh dear.
It really is kind of stone soup, right? You start with not much, and you look at the ingredients and you start thinking about it, and well, what about those two things together? And it gradually builds into something that might or might not lead somewhere. It's all following sort of leads, and like,
exactly.
Sometimes it's direct, and occasionally it's direct, and most times it's very meandering.
Mostly it's not.
Yeah,
creativity is not linear.
No, exactly.
And there's value in the process, even if the outcome isn't what you'd hoped. And surprising outcomes can be good things too.
Yeah,
it's never wasted. That's the thing. Lisa says thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa.
And
thanks, guys.
And keep up with the worthy struggle, Ricky.
Yeah.
So next Monday will be virtual studio party on my channel.
Kim Lee Co.
Kim Lee with a hyphen in the middle.
Okay. Yep. I wasn't sure whether that was.
And it's at 2:00 as well.
Yep. So same time, same day.
I hope
just a different
can join
channel.
us.
Yeah. So we'll flip our roles and look forward to seeing you then.
Yeah. Take care, everybody.
Yep. Stay safe. Keep collaging, and we'll see you next week.
And please hit that like button before you go. Thank you so much in advance. Bye for now.
Take care, guys. See you later.